Wednesday, Bitcoin trading at $97,389, coming into an area of high interest, into resistance over here. And we've been marking this area. We've had, see, 1, 2, 3 touches of this broken support firming up as resistance. It's why on the breakout, the first trendline break that we've had since this strong correction over here, this for sure strong downtrend that we're currently in, we called the first repair, was that the first meaningful repair would be above this line. Price coming into that zone right now. Healthy that so far it's trading above structurally the last resumption. So you had the breakout, the retest, the resumption of, we want to close above there, hold that area, firm up over here, perhaps consolidate, and ultimately close above and have a meaningful repair in place. If I zoom out a little bit, you could see the significance over here. This was the spot ETF launch shakeout, CTM right here in January 2024, in the height of, oh, this is sell the news. We were like, no, by February, we're making a new all-time high. I don't know how we do it. Sometimes and often I feel like we just get lucky. And then over here, we had the Japanese yen unwind in the summer of 2024. You can see that area was broken. Since it's broken, we've had 3 tests of that broken support becoming resistance. We're into that area right now. Closing above it is not out of the woods as far as this, let's say, this bear attack that's underway. It would be invalidated much higher above this line over here, which is currently around 109 and upward sloping. That would invalidate this sell pressure. A lot of people might be thinking, well, this is a great place to sell. And if indeed we are looking at bear market 2026 recession, this right over here is potentially a very good place to sell. I personally, if I were doing that, I would be, first of all, doing a few different things. I wouldn't be selling against CTM templates that are showing upward momentum here, continuing to rise. By the way, this is the second entry for V2 buy side boost in 2026. Bitcoin here entering first, taking 100% of the account, doing the heavy lifting. Since we've seen Ethereum enter the market, so locking in some of that profit, and now Solana locking in the last. So now we have an even allocation across the 3. I would not be looking to fade CTM templates as if I was looking to short. I would be looking for, by the way, I have to just show this beauty of a chart right here. Ethereum also into that yellow line, that resistance over here. Reclaiming that sets us off into a zone where we have one more repair to make, and then Ethereum would all of a sudden, after that breakdown and that pressure, sometimes a simple trendline break, it will do absolute wonders over here. And here's that breakdown, that retest, and then taking out levels, right? And then you can see simple trendline break, the repair that's currently in play and underway, looking at it from that angle as well. So Ethereum looking good. I've been only talking about Bitcoin here, but we're going to just go ahead and just go through it all. I have been, and by the way, there's an update that was pushed through, a sincere and amazing thank you to Hey You, who has been absolute, just phenomenal over these last 2 years, continuing to build and to push out V3, V4, and then going ahead on the launch here, making a couple of additions, including adding the old fields for automation, now down the templates. I recommend going into the dashboards and going ahead and making fresh copies, which will have the new versions on them. Silver we looked at from this angle over here, and this is going to zoom out. And this green line was the first signal that, we might be headed for a correction if price were to close below it. It now looks like, and this is an underbelly developing. I think it's worthy of watching over here, because if this breaks, we could see some extension of downward price action in this volatile market. And I'm just going to go ahead and just show you, if I zoom this up over here, this would be an underbelly, right? That would be the earliest sign over here, trading below 89. This would be conservative, break below here. And yeah, this might give an opportunity to come back into and still hold important area of support. Be watching that. That's highly speculative, of course, but go ahead and just be alert, be watch. First time that I've mentioned anything upon this breakout above 50 of watching for a potential correction in play. So, you might want to go ahead and do that. A lot of people here still believe that what we're looking at is the dead cat bounce setting up the bear market in 2026. Even if price is able to continue to rise over here, probably they think or would be looking at a move towards and into on the weekly time frame the 50 SMA. That's coming in closer to right around just above $100,000 of Bitcoin right now. Don't forget what as it goes, what a lot of people were promoting as the Fed is getting ready to pivot towards balance sheet expansion, that it was a good idea because of the 4-year cycle on the second close, just right below $88,000, to go ahead and exit Bitcoin, to sell Bitcoin. Between price and tax liabilities, that might be proving to be a really, really costly mistake. Don't think we're out of the woods or anything like that. When I say out of the woods, yeah, we're long some trades, and we'll probably get a chance to lock in some further profit, as especially Bitcoin is very, very agile about doing that. But we have this area. This is the meaningful repair that we need to be able to put in place before you could start getting a little bit, let's say, optimistic about where we are right now and what's ahead. Obviously, everyone is aware that right now equity markets are under pressure. My theory is that you should see tech leading as the balance sheet expansion continues. We do have some variables at play, and one of the main variables at play right now is, well, we got two. One made, I think, by Powell, deciding Sunday, right before the markets open, to make an announcement. The other is, of course, that we're looking at the Supreme Court delaying once again the ruling about whether or not the Trump tariffs are legal or illegal, and the ramifications about that. Obviously, markets are not a fan of uncertainty. Supreme Court here perhaps highlighting the magnitude of the uncertainty markets are facing right now. We're seeing a decoupling take place. I think we're seeing a lot of mean reversion. Don't forget, my theory is that I'm aware that Bitcoin last Fed cycle, as balance sheet expansion began, we saw Bitcoin make 2 lower lows before stabilizing. We did see tech stabilize first and make its run. This is very conducive to risk. However, again, we have that window for risk to stabilize. I don't think that we're out of the woods yet. And I do think that soon we're about to see monetary base total beginning to rise. Should be very conducive to risk. And I think a lot of people looking back will say, 4-year cycle caused me to pivot because of a few different, as the Fed was pivoting. It was very clear in hindsight. Nevertheless, we got to keep going over here. So positive development, still a lot of work to do. And right now, obviously, we're looking at what could turn into a bigger correction here. I'm watching the NASDAQ over here, and we have this last line, this green line over here. This is coming in from tagging 1-2 touches over here. And if that breaks, right, close below there, yeah, that sets up some pressure. And you could see that if that's happening, do I think that the disconnect between Bitcoin's kind of bid here, perhaps because of, well, there's that uncertainty about the whole central banking system, the Federal Reserve, what type of, I don't know. Dollar here is kind of not really making a move, right? So I don't know how much to read into whether or not we're seeing, let's call it the Powell effect in play right now. So I'm just going to keep and focus on the technicals. The close below here, that sets up a bigger correction in play, and we're just going to have to continue to stay in front of it. We have a window. I don't know how big that window is from this muddle until we begin running. But a lot of pieces are in motion. And it's nice to see Bitcoin trading above $95,000. Jumping back over towards, I was going to check on the yen over here. Jumping back over towards what's going on here at CTM. And we know that, first of all, MicroStrategy has entered the market. Michelle, I think, was noting doesn't really like those long candles. Either way, we are long. Those that are trading buy side boost, that's 50% of all equities over here. Their allocation into this trade. MicroStrategy is a buy side boost here. Everything else remains here on the sidelines. We have over here Ethereum's trade long side now active over here. And again, if you don't have the updated templates, do go ahead and make fresh copies. An enormous note of gratitude towards Heyu and his extraordinary and massive effort. Not just today. There you can see the enter long pending on Bitcoin. A lot of people wondering in the Discord on the V4 channel. I did go ahead and share some insight over here. One of the updates to V4, though, was an additional momentum trend, let's say, level, and it's this one right over here. So you can see even though V2 was long and long earlier and a better entry in this one particular instance, we're in a downtrend, a strong downtrend. And therefore, you could see that just taking a moment here to confirm that we have some upward change of momentum and now potentially here getting close to a long entry on Bitcoin. And then the Solana trade has been active since before the V4 rollout. So we're not going to go ahead and continue to manage that trade. And I imagine that put a lot of people in a situation where trading buy side boost that they took this Solana trade then, those that are trading on the buy side boost because you had to exit 1/3 of the Bitcoin. Cabby put out this interesting post. I haven't had a lot of my time is going towards the rollout here of V4. So I haven't had the opportunity yet to kind of like put my pulse out on the market, just leaning into following our signals on our templates and keeping up with the hive mind. But this is interesting. This is Cabby taking initiative here and looking at what V4 looked like on certain Bitcoin let's say plays, including the spot ETF. You could see this is starting in February 2024. I don't know why, Cab, you picked February 2024, but interesting. And you could see that, is it the launch of IBIT? There you go. That's why he picked February 2024. You could see that Bitcoin returning 130, IBIT outperforming. I noticed that Brownie Brown said that you could go back and backtest further with GBTC. That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's worthy of doing. You can see the difference here of BITU being a tremendous outperformer here. So that's something that I would like to dial into, take a further look at, and I appreciate the initiative here, Cabby, the creativity, and taking a look at that. So I'm interested in everything. So it's just a question of finishing the current progress that we're making here. V4 rollout, it's a tremendous week. It's a milestone week here at CTM. And then continuing here to do what we do best. Just continue to put the work in and stay on the right side. I love it. I mean, very creative. It's available right now. Buy side boost you have inside the member area, and you could go ahead and you could save a copy. You could go ahead and I'll show you like. Let's go down to V4 release right over here. You'll see the 3-panel view, the buy side boost over here, and you could just go ahead and grab a copy and save a copy. I have it lined up like this because a lot of people that trade buy side boost, this is their preferred view on looking at it. Yeah, there's a strong write up by Hey You inside the Discord on V4, Michelle. Go ahead and he's so helpful. Go ahead and any questions that you have, uh, start there, and then as we continue here, we will continue. Hopefully, ultimately, putting together just a video tutorial. I mean, years of work, and there's so much to the story. Ace, who's been here for all of it, and so much to the story. Including, you remember that day out of nowhere, Javier, amazing, 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 amazing nod over here, Javier. One day he's just like drops V2 out onto the community, and then I remember over the next 2 weeks, the highs mind buzzing, putting out all preferred templates across all assets, working like perfect harmony, like a symphony. It was absolutely all as I needed to do was go ahead and model something that was explosives off of it, and then it set off this like major like boom here, we'll hear boom here, boom, and it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that's interesting. That's super interesting. We go ahead and highlight this and take a look at this. I'll follow up with you. Oh, the changes that were in there as well. Yes. Hold on. I'm not prepared. I have a 4-point checklist of the list. Let me, Michelle, put that right now into the Discord, and as well as for those that weren't aware, note that those updates, because it was just pushed through leading up to going live, that those updates are now live. I will post that, Michelle, as we get off here inside the V4 channel in the Discord. The updates that were included. One of them was, for example, let me just jump over to this chart over here. You could see over here, let me just make this bigger. On the right here, so that you know that you're on the correct modeled feed over here, it'll confirm this. If this is wrong, this will be in red. So they are all showing Bitcoin's all-time index. So that was one update. The second update was that as you were looking at what happened on the short entry on right here on Ethereum, the entry on the first bar was flipped the wrong way, the stop loss. So the stop loss, instead of being above market, was below market, and then it corrected on the second bar. That was rectified. The other thing that was added was into the old fields here for automation, right? So this is the other update that was added into it. And then the fourth change that was made was just a simple tweak on Solana, whereas the moving stop loss after 8% into profit, it didn't do anything to the drawdown, and the results were significantly greater on the overall profits. So that was removed. And you could see that you could go ahead and play with that yourself. If you toggle on move stop loss into profit, then you could go ahead and play with that. And potentially there are nuggets for improvement that could be made across all four of these templates by moving the stop loss into profit at X amount of time. Those are the changes that were implemented into the push through of the update. Yeah, so if you grab a new copy of of the Solana template and you're using Binance SOL USDT, it should no longer be red. It should be like this right over here. That means that it's the correct feed. I mean, I'm not sure what the modern into the automation is. You could check with HeyU, tag them inside the V4. Yes, here we are. So my head is spinning for the since Saturday here. But we are making fantastic progress, and we are light on likes. CTM, go ahead here and definitely hit the thumbs up button. Share a little bit of love. We are positioned across markets here very well on the right side, and I hope that everybody is participating. All right, for now, we'll get back to it and keep going over here. We are almost back towards a path of back into our normal flow. Right now, though, major rollout in effect, and it's beautiful. CTM, have a beautiful day, everyone. God bless you. God bless you. I'll see you all on the inside all day long.